Doesn't he look great, Alec? He's like total bar mitzvah rocking it. See if there's everybody here yet. All right, I think, okay, we're going to start in just one more picture, everybody. Pictures are important because they're forever, or at least for a long time. Digital pictures. Will you think digital pictures will be forever? I hope so. Okay, Alec.
Where's the couple of Jews?
It's right. I don't know.
You had it.
Oh, I think might be in the kitchen. Please. Yes, it's a silver cup. That would be so, thank you so much. Are you ready? Here, put one hand under, one hand over. You get it? It's a heavier one than the one you're going to be holding later. Yeah, okay? I got you back.
There you go.
We got you.
Mom, Dad, you want to get up there real quick?
Okay. I've been dreading it.
Yeah, I think I wanted to spill it a lot. It was a little too full. Hi, Toby. Oh my gosh. Alec, this is Toby. Toby, Alec.
Yeah. 3 years. Yeah, right.
3 years? Okay.
Right
Right,
there.
your daughter or my parents?
Put down.
Oh, I'm gonna drink out of you. You're awesome.
It has juice in it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good. Do you want me out of this one?
You can stand and then get up.
I feel that way a lot.
There you go.
All right.
Now,
Are you
yes.
hanging out? Hang out. Oh. You got it? All right.
All right. We'll do it really quickly.
Okay. Hold that Torah.
Don't let go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't drop the Torah, then the rabbi has to fast for 40 days.
Oh, only the rabbi. Is that it?
Yeah.
No, it's the bar mitzvah boy.
No, it's not.
I thought it was.
Everybody. Around here it would be.
Steve, thank you. Okay. What's that? No, I'll call you up. All right, Alec, my friend. Okay. Okay. Everyone, kind of find a spot that makes sense for you, that you feel comfortable. I think this is our Hevra. Hevra is the Hebrew word. Come on, Alec, you're running the show here. You're good to stand right here next to me. You good? Look out. Look at these people. Love you. You know them. You love them. They're proud of you. They're excited for you. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is all good. Hevra is a Hebrew word that means group, but it comes from the word, friend. And I know it's even deeper than that because there are friends here, but there's also family. And so I want you to know, Alec, that, I could see it in everyone's eyes. Just glad to be here and to see you up there. It's like this journey. And before you get a blink of an eye, all of a sudden, you go from being a little kid, and then you're able to get to the point where you can stand up in front of a group of people, of family, of friends, of loved ones, and rock their world by inspiring them and teaching them and impressing them and becoming a bar mitzvah, a son of this tradition in front of our very eyes. It's really remarkable. And I feel that standing next to you. There are these moments of transformation in our lives, and this is one of them. It really is. So take a deep breath, young man, and I'm going to start off by just singing a little bit, so we can kind of all get used to being together and having our voices weave together. So if you, actually, you know, we're just gonna sing. You don't have to know any words for this. You don't even have to look at the book yet. And you don't have to know Hebrew. You don't even have to know English. I'm sure many of us do, but you don't have to right now. All you need to do is just sing Lai Lai, and it's just sort of a way to get our voices working out loud and singing a little bit. And I'll kind of lead the tune, and you follow along, and we'll bring the Spirit right into this place, into this sanctuary. There you go, like that. Alec, I know that we are joined by this wonderful Chevra, but there's also people watching, you know, people that you love and that love you that are home and watching you become bar mitzvah from home. And because you're helping lead this service and you're going to teach us Torah and chant from the Torah, we want you to feel the arms of not only your friends and family around you, but also the arms of the Jewish tradition to envelop you and embrace you. And traditionally, the first time you wear a talit is at your bar mitzvah, like your sister at their bat mitzvah. And there's your talit from your bat mitzvah. Look at that. So you also will wear a talis, a prayer shawl with the fringes that will remind you of all the mitzvahs that you're supposed to do, not only as a bar mitzvah, but even before you've been doing mitzvahs, you know, in our class together, growing up. And now they become also sacred obligations to do your part to help make the world a better place. And so have your parents come up to bring you the talis you're going to wear, beautiful woven talit. Yeah, come on. Stage left, stage right. I like it. We didn't choreograph this, but I like it. It's dramatic. All right, so the actual blessing that Alec is going to read for the mitzvah of wearing a talis is right there emblazoned on the talis. So you could put the blessing words kind of over his shoulder. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Do we got to flip your hair? I always like when, you know, the guys got to flip their hair, you know, because I'm being a long hair guy myself. So how's it feel?
Actually comfortable.
Good. We want that. We want it to be comfortable, and you'll hopefully wear it again, like your sister's wearing hers now at certain special moments. So with your parents right here at your back, as they're always at your back, why don't you read the blessing for this mitzvah of when you lead the service and when you're in the synagogue sometimes to wear the talis with the fringes. Oh, look at that. Dad's going to help you out there. Look at that. Takes a village. Go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihit atet b'tzitzit.
Amen. Give him a hug. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. It's okay. You can put it right at the table. You're wearing it in spirit. All right. Also on page 2, right below the talis blessing, is a song that actually comes from the book of Psalms in the Hebrew Bible, and it just says in Hebrew the following, translated to English. It says, "It is good and pleasant when we sit together. Hine matov u'manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We like to put it in the service because it's true. You know, it's good and it's pleasant when we sit together, especially for a celebration, a special occasion on Shabbat, the end of Shabbat, when we're just thrilled to be here, witnessing this really special moment. So sing along if you can, or hum along. Goes like this. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov banayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov banayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. And for those of you who don't know her, that's Leslie Kaplan singing on harmony. And, you know, we always want to fill the air with song on Shabbat. Leslie always says, when you sing, it's like you pray twice. So we're going to do a lot of singing. Turning on to page 3, Alec leading us in the transition prayer called the Reader's Kaddish. Oh yeah, go ahead, read the, oh, we can't skip John Lennon, for goodness sake.
It matters not who you love, where you love, when you love, or how you love. It matters that you love.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yid kadal v'yid kadash shemei rabba ve'alma divra kirutei v'yamlik malkutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho be'Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kari v'meru amen Yehei shmei rabba mivorach le'olam u'me'omaya Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromah, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithale, v'yitala, shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'meru, amen. And now you turn the page, and Alec, let everyone know what we're going to do next.
Please rise as we call each other to prayer with the Baruch.
Yeah. I'm going to sing a little English, and then we'll work our way into the Hebrew on the page 4. As we bless the source of life, so as we bless the source of life, as we bless the source of life, so we are blessed, and our blessings give us strength to make our visions clear, and our blessings give us peace and the courage to dare as we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. Baruch hu et Adonai
I was younger, my mom and dad would sing the Shema to me as I went to sleep. Now for me, when I say the Shema, I still think about how my parents care for me and still watch over me. Please join me in chanting the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'derech uvshokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam le'od al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvihisharecha leman tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot Lachem Le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Together you shall
love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these words which I command you this day. Teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you arise. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as symbols between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Remember to do all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am your God who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your God.
I know that we are a people who have crossed many seas. In every service, remember that the price of freedom is often great as we sing the same words that our ancestors sang. After crossing from slavery to freedom at the shores of another sea.
Yes, it's a freedom song. Right from the same Torah that Alec's going to chant from in just a bit. But it reminds us not only of our own freedom story, the Jewish freedom story, but of our obligation to be part of all freedom stories, all people who are marginalized, who are oppressed, who need liberation. We are on their side. That's kind of what our story teaches us. And so that's what this prayer reminds us of. So we'll sing it together. Yai, lai, 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 ya, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 ya, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, ya, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 ya, lai, lai, yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai. Ya la la, ya la la la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh, norat hilot osei pele, osei pele. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Olam va'ed, Ya'imloch le'olam va'ed, Ya'imloch le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la.
Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, when one only remembers to turn on the light.
Turn to page 10, please. I think you probably heard this before, Alec. It's in every late afternoon, early evening service like this one. It's a prayer for peace, a prayer that we hope not only do we find peace on this wonderful night that you become bar mitzvah, Alec, but also that the whole world is covered by a Sukkot Shalom, which is actually the name of this building. We call this building a shelter of peace. And we hope that all places are shelters of peace. Hope you feel the peace, the shalom of this place. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Sing it with me. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Allow us to lie and rise in peace. Shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Vehamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. So what I've sung already is ancient. The next part of the prayer that I kind of like to put in prayer is a little less ancient. Dates back to Bob Marley, a blessed memory. Everything's gonna be alright. That's redemption. Everything's gonna be. That's faith. Everything's gonna be. That's hope. Everything's gonna be alright. Sing it out. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha, and cover over us tonight with a Sukkot shalom, a shelter of peace for you, for those you love. A shelter of peace for all creation. A shelter of peace for Alec as he becomes bar mitzvah. A shelter of peace over the whole world. Amen. Shalom. Peace. Right there.
The past doesn't equal the future. Please rise.
There you go. No, you're here. You're exactly. You're doing it all right. On the bottom of page 11. tehilatecha. Ay, lai, la, lai, la, lai, lai, Adonai. Yai, lai, la, lai, lai, sifatai, tifta. Yai, lai, la, lai, la, lai, ufi, yagid. Ufi, yagid, tehilatecha. On page 12. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chazdei avot v'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei b'neihem, l'ma'an shemo b'yahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham v'ezrat Sarah.
Together,
Praise be the God of our ancestors, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, of Sarah, of Rebekah, of Leah, and of Rachel. Praise be the source of strength and courage, the source of kindness and good deeds. Praise be the source of gentleness and love, of softness and kind words. Praise be the person who transcends strength through gentleness. Praise be the person who perfects gentleness through strength. Praise be the person who acts according to the best that is within. Praise be the person who reaches out to touch the best in others. Praise be the gentle faithfulness of Abraham and the valiant strength of Sarah. Praise be the God who infused humanity with divine potential. 1, 2, 3. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atarav lahoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit, Umechaye, Umatzbiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
Please be seated.
Yeah. We are on page 15. We want to definitely make sure we sing a song, a prayer about Shabbat itself, because this is still Shabbat. Alec, you've given us an opportunity to extend Shabbat. You know, technically Shabbat ends at sunset, about an hour after, really, on Saturday night. But usually we're here on Saturday morning, and then everyone does their own thing on Shabbat. But because of your bar mitzvah, we get to come together for one more gathering on Shabbat before we say goodbye to the Shabbos with the Havdalah that we'll do together at the end of the service. So we get another chance. We sang V'shamru this morning, and now we'll sing it again because it's still Shabbos, and Shabbat's our time for stopping, for holiness, for renewal, for being instead of doing. You know, you got to do. You got to go to school, and people got to go to work, and we do the things we do in the world. But then Shabbat gives us a chance to balance out that doing with just being, right? Unconditional, just to be and to breathe and to sing and to renew our souls. So that's kind of the deal with the Shamru. So we sing it. It's a verse from the Torah. Again, it goes like this. There's kind of a repeating of a sort of, it's not really a chorus, but we make it into a chorus. We make a healing prayer for whatever that siren hopefully is going to help. Whoever needs help gets their help. And now we'll sing. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, ledoratam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, Doratam Berit Olam. Veini uvein b'nei Yisrael, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael, HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, le'doratam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, le'doratam berit olam. Uviyom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, le'doratam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, le'doratam berit olam, le'doratam berit olam.
Do the right thing, it will gratify some people and astonish the rest.
Yes. Yeah.
The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can.
Beautiful. So one more prayer before we kind of dive into the Torah service, again with Alec leading us. This is another prayer for peace. We always say you can't have enough prayers for peace, especially in this day and age, in this world, the way it is. Peace in little ways and peace in big ways, right, Alec? We pray for shalom in our language, peace. In some ways, we hope that all of our prayers, really, all the ones that Alec has been leading us in, the ones we've sung, are peace prayers. Right? Anytime that we have good intentions, like we do tonight, we're offering words that we hope will help bring more peace to the world. And hopefully our words will inspire us, to be activists for peace, to really kind of actively make peace. That's what shalom is all about. So this is Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasi Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasi Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon l'chol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon l'chol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov ve'anecha livereth et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. It means all over the world, literally. Tasim Le'olam. So we ask now that we all take collectively a moment of silent prayer, kind of our own individual prayers, meditations, reflections, those things that you most long for, your hopes and dreams for the world and for Alec and for each other. Also, Alec has prepared in his family in the Siddur on page 17 a few extra wonderful quotations. Alec has put in some really great sort of spiritual, meaningful quotations throughout the service that he's read out loud. These ones are meant for you to read on your own, including Stan Lee. You're a Marvel guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you be a Marvel guy and a DC guy?
I do Marvel.
That's fair.
Marvel's better than
Marvel's
DC.
better than DC. You heard it right here. And
Confirmed.
he's the bar mitzvah guy, so he must be right. So I guess Superman, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Spider-Man, I guess?
Yes, well, I mean, that's classic. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Stan Lee is Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alec's going to sit down so you can have a little rest. You could get a drink of water.
Yes.
Prepare yourself for Torah, and we'll take a few moments of silence, and we will return with the Torah service. Shalom Ra, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Shalom Ra, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasi Leolam. Come on back, Alec. Get a drink of water? Yeah. Awesome. All right, so I'll tell you what, we are now on page 18, and Alec is going to tell everybody to...
Please rise.
Correct. And to start out the Torah service, we are, I'm delighted to ask up three of your cousins that are right here in the front row next to your sister. We have Annabelle and Anastasia and Angelina. Come on up, you guys. Come on up. It's your turn. So you guys figure out, there's two doors, so two of you can take one door and one of you can take the other, however you want to, and just kind of like open the doors. Okay, and there you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Awesome. And if you want, it's a brand new curtain. We never had a curtain. It's called a parochet. We've actually never had one before, so it's very new. So just kind of like lightly pull back the curtains. So that's where the Torahs are behind it. I think either direction. Yeah, that works. All right, now you can give your cousin a fist bump or a high five or whatever works for you guys. There you go. Boom, boom. Oh, okay. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to get the Torah. You guys can sit down. All right. And then we'd like to have, we're going to ask some of your grandparents and relatives, and of course your parents, and of course your sister. So I have Great Aunt Peachy. Is that right? Where's Great Aunt? Come here, Peachy. And then we have your grandparents, Rick and Pam. So you guys can come up. And then Grandma Diane and Grandpa Joe. Am I good so far? All of you guys come up, and then of course Alec, your parents, Sandra and Craig, and Ella, who is bat mitzvah before you. So she gets to be in the chain of tradition, with a flourish. So what we'll do is, we'll have the grandparents kind of, and the great aunt kind of over here. Alec's exactly here. Why don't you go a little bit that way, and then Ella's right next to you, and then Mom, there's Dad. Oh, okay. All right. Got grandparents, we got great aunts, right? And then, are we missing somebody? No? So Craig, you go right here by, what? Oh, I'm sorry, wait. No, they're coming later. They're coming later. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, Pam, I said Rick and Pam, right? Rick and Pam? Yeah, I said. Come on up, join the line. Come on, don't be shy. All right, this is pretty cool. So, I'm gonna go over here. Oh, look at that, this is great. Alec, take a look at these amazing people that are part of your life. How awesome is that? Aw. This is called our generation to generation. And you can look through this line and you see that, it plays out. Generation to generation. And actually, Alec, you know this, the line goes way back, right? There's even people who, are no longer with us. And I know we are thinking at this time about also, you have a grandma Bibi, right? Who's in New Hampshire, did I make that up? What? She's here, yeah. So we know that we're thinking about her, but we're also thinking about all the ancestors that go way back that help make you who you are. But also, the line kind of goes that way too. There's more to come. So you're not only a descendant, but you're also, eventually an ancestor. And that's the beauty of this generation to generation. We call it the Dor Vador, and it really, there's certain moments where it really is highlighted. And I think this kind of coming of age, this moment right on the cusp of, adolescence, when, you're getting more mature and more independent and you've taken on some great responsibilities, we see this generation to generation sort of really happening before our very eyes. But, besides the fact that these people have given you so much, so much wisdom and blessings and love, the other part is that there's part of you that's just you. That's just Alec, right? Because that's the mystery of who we are. We're a mixture of all the people that are part of our lives, but also we've got something that's uniquely just us. And Alec, you've definitely got unique Alec stuff in you. You really do. And I've known you for a long time at this point. Watched you grow up and grow into yourself, and it's really been a privilege, and I look forward to more. But this is a great, holy, monumental moment. We're going to pass this Torah to you from generation to generation, because it's your turn, like it was your sister's, to hold fast to this Torah, to feel its weight and its meaning, and to say, I'm going to, as I get older, as I journey forward, that we hope that the Jewish tradition exemplified or symbolized by this Torah will be part of your life. Whatever parts in this tradition feel meaningful to you, that you'll take them with you. We hope it brings much richness and much meaning and much dignity to your life, on top of all the other traditions that have gone into making who you are, your mother's people and your father's people. But you also know we're passing you a physical Torah. It's not just all that symbolic stuff. You're going to hold this Torah, and as you know, because you've been coming to the bar and bat mitzvahs of your peers, of the seventh graders in your class, this Torah is a very special scroll. This Torah is a survivor of the Holocaust, of the Shoah. And it came from a town in Czechoslovakia known as Chalosov, the country that's now, Czechoslovakia is called Chalosov. And back in the time of the Nazis, Czechoslovakia was conquered and invaded, and the Nazis, when they would go into a country, they would transform it into a place like Germany was at the time, of hatred and terror. And that was no exception to the town of Chalosov. And so none of the Jews of Chalosov survived. And I actually met someone in our congregation who had ancestors from Chalosov. And we spent some time with this Torah. But the Torah survived. And there were many Torahs that survived the Nazi period. And they were given out for adoption. So congregations all throughout the United States and Canada and Europe could have these Torahs, so that we could do what we're doing just now, which is pass them into the arms of our young people as a testimony that although it was an awful, horrible, unspeakable time, we as a people did survive, and we continue to try to spread our message of shalom, of peace, into the future. And you are part of that, Alec. You're not alone. And there should be great joy in this Torah, but there's also responsibility. That's part of our mitzvah. So it's really a privilege to take this Torah and give it through the line of generations, just kind of pass it down the line. The door, Vador, Vador. There you go. That's good. Yeah. And your dad, and then to your mom, and your sister, who's going to have an aliyah in a second, and then to you, Alec. And so now, Alec, with the Torah, come up and let your family be at your back, as I know they always are. I'm going to kind of just sort of do this for you. One hand over. There you go. How's that feel? Yeah? Good. All right. You got it? You got it. All right. Come on over here with me in front of everybody. You got loved ones behind you and loved ones in front of you. There's this love everywhere, and you're part of that. So with this congregation, let us once again chant the words of the Shema. So these next minutes will be time for us to listen. That's what Shema means, to listen to you and to learn from you and be inspired by you. You ready? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. So if you will, we always ask people, if you want, put your books down. You're just for temporarily on your chair, you know. So your hands are free for clapping, because Leslie Kaplan, the multi-talented Leslie Kaplan, has gone from her spot at the microphone to the piano. She's going to play some kind of jumpy, exciting, energetic music. And Alec is going to walk around with the Torah. If you want to kind of connect to him, connect to the Torah, you could follow him around if you want. We'll have some moments of joyous hakafot, it's called, circling with the Torah and with each other. And so, in the words of the ancient Hebrew prophets, we say, hit it! Go! Go wherever you want. Just, you guys, congratulations. You guys can go with him. You can see him. All right? Now we need cousins Robin and Hannah. Where's Robin? And hey, come on up. Robin and Hannah. Let's keep on going, Alec. You're doing great. Tell you what, you guys. For a second. All right. Come on, Al. That was beautiful. Alec, you could tell everyone they're standing, so they should please be...
Please be seated.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a yad. All right, so here's the Torah scroll. And actually, because we kind of jump back, we jump forward to Deuteronomy this morning, because this Shabbat was a Shabbat called Shabbat Zachor, which is a named Shabbat that always comes right before the holiday of Purim, which starts Monday night. So this is the Shabbat before Purim. But now that we're at Havdalah, we're going to go back to the regular Torah schedule. The portion that Alec has been learning from to read is called Titzaveh. It's in the book of Exodus. You will hear what it has to say, but it kind of takes place after the Hebrew slaves have escaped from bondage in Egypt, and they are kind of organizing themselves for whatever it is comes next. So I'm going to invite up, it's really an honor and a pleasure to invite Toby Epstein to come up to stand with Alec and I. Toby has been Alec's tutor. You say 3 years? 3 years. Right, they've been working together, and Toby said, I think some of you heard when she came up to take some pictures, that this is the first time they've ever met in person. So they've been meeting on Zoom. So isn't that awesome? It's like, I feel like this should be like, Oprah or something. I guess there's a lot to say about that, but one of the things to say about that is that means that everything Alec has been doing, the Torah, the prayers that he's been chanting, and now the Torah he's going to be chanting, he learned by Zoom, virtual. But it wasn't really virtual, it was real, and it's real. So now they get to learn, be here together, and Toby is going to help me help Alec. Did you bring a book up? Oh, look at that, great. Okay, so what I want to let everyone know is that, hold on one second. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so if you turn to page 19, actually, the part of the Torah that Alec will be chanting is right there on page 19, both in Hebrew and the English translation. I think many of you know that although this is the words, in the Torah it looks a little different, right, Alec? You all have the benefit, those of you that know Hebrew, have the benefit of the vowels, like A-E-I-O-U in English. But the Torah was written, when the Torah was first written down, there were no vowels. So even though we still have Torahs written, and they're written by hand, by the way, even though we still have Torahs written, now in the 21st century, we keep to that tradition of not vocalizing, not using the vowels, because we wanted to sort of remain true to sort of those original Torahs. So not only does Alec have to learn Hebrew, but he has to then learn Hebrew in an ancient form, and remember, what are vowels called? You guys that are students, helping letters, right? So just give everyone a chance to know what Alec has been doing in all those 3 years of studying. So that's on page 19. Hold up your yad. Yep. So it's a tradition. All the students of Toby, Toby gives them the use of her yad. A yad is actually the Hebrew word that means hand. It is also the same word for sort of the tool we use to help us read Torah without touching it with our fingers, because it is written by hand and it takes about a year, so we don't want to smudge it up. And it's actually kind of shaped like a little hand. That's why it's called a yad. So not only is Toby right next to you in person, but also she's giving you a helping hand.
My God.
Was that a little corny? Yeah. Look at that. God.
Snuck that in there.
I did, I really did. Okay, so I'm going to open the Torah up to your spot, Alec. Do you see it? Asita Mizbeach. Got there? Okay, so don't start yet. All right, so part of the ritual of chanting from Torah is that we are going to call some people up to the bima, some very close familial people and familiar people to you. That you all share a household, to say blessings surrounding your Torah reading. And the first aliyah is going to be your sister Ella. I'm going to call her up by her Hebrew name. And one of the things that happens once you become bat or bar mitzvah is you can have aliyahs to the Torah. And so it really is awesome to be able to call you up. Ella, Ta'amod, Eliana, Nechama, Bat, Akiva, Asher, Visandra, Aliyah la Torah. And this is a big deal, I know, Ella, to have this aliyah. And your bat mitzvah was the first bat mitzvah we had of being closed for about a year. And we weren't even really open. We opened just for you and your family. Some of you were here, but many of you couldn't be here. So this is a singular moment, and it's a privilege to hear you on page 19 do the blessing before the Torah. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. All right, and thank you, Ella, and stay right here. And Alec, you're going to chant your first Aliyah. Go.
Vasita mitzbeach miktar ketoret atse shitim taase oto ama oko ve'amar achbo ravu ra'yihiyeh ve'amatayim komato komato mimenu karnotav ve'tzipita oto zahav tachor et gago ve'et kivotav Saviv.
Saviv. Right?
Saviv.
All right. No, you keep going, actually.
Ve'etz konotav va'asita lo ze sahav saviv.
There you go. Nicely done. And now, Ella, Eliana Nechama is your Hebrew name. The blessing after the first chanting on page 20. Notein HaTorah Yasher Koach. And now stay here, Ella, and Toby and Alec. We're going to bring to the bima now your parents, Alec and Ella's parents. I'm going to call them to the Torah, and they're going to do the blessings surrounding your second chanting. Ya'amdu, Akiva, Asher, Vasandra, Aliyah, Torah. Come on over. Page 19. Baruch. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai
Notein HaTorah. All right, Alec. Stay.
Ushay tabot zahav ta'aselo mitachazero al shetei solo tab ta'asei al shenei sitav l'chayat levadim levadim l'sitoto b'chema Vasita et habadim atzei shitim v'tzipita otam zachav v'natata oto lifnei chakaporet asher acharon ha'edut lifnei chakaporet asher al hadut asher ibaet lachat shama.
Beautiful. And then your parents, the blessing after on page 20.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'kayei olam natan v'chokenu. Baruch Atah Adonai
Notein HaTorah. Beautiful, wonderful. All right, Alec, you've been our Torah chanter all along and doing an amazing job. But this is your Aliyah. And that's special because traditionally a bar mitzvah is your first aliyah. You know, that really makes you a bar mitzvah. Bar mitzvah we use to describe an event, but really it's a person. You know, your sister is a bat mitzvah, and you are about to become a bar mitzvah, a son of this tradition, you know, who will take, I know, so much from this tradition and make part of your life, but will also add your stamp, your uniqueness, into who we are as a people. So I'm going to call you to the Torah for your aliyah, for your bar mitzvah aliyah. It's a great honor to be one of your rabbis, and I know all of the rabbis are very, very proud of you, and we're all very proud of you, as your whole congregation. And so I'm going to call you to the Torah. You have a beautiful Hebrew name, which I know has great meaning in your family. Your Hebrew name is Ruvain Alexander, right, from that Alec name, right? And Ruvain is a really strong Hebrew name. And of course, your Hebrew name also carries the name of your parents, so you're connected, you know? Isn't that nice? forever.
Yeah.
And all, yeah. So I'm going to call you to the Torah. You're going to make the blessing, and you're going to finish your chanting. Here we go. Ya'amod, Ruvain Alexander, Ben Akiva Asher Vasandra, Aliyah Torah, Bar HaMitzvah. Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu michol ha'amim, lenatan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai
Notain HaTorah. All right, young man, you can finish up your reading. You're right up there.
V'yigatir alav aron ketoret samim, babokir bein tivo, et hanerod yaktirena. Uv'halot aharon et hanerod, bein ha'arbaim yaktirena, ketoret tamid. Lifnei Adonai ledorotechem, lo ta'alut alav, ketoret salav umicha, b'chayei.
Umincha.
What?
Allah.
B'Allah umicha, but b'nei
Yep.
Lo tisku alav.
Pick up here.
Kid.
Oh, Vikap here.
Per ad.
Haron.
But Aharon.
Yep.
Aharon. Ketoret.
Yeah.
Ad. Echad. But.
Shana.
Beshana.
Toby, is he done?
I think we've gone past where
Oh,
his.
okay, well, that's fine.
I think he's doing.
Let's do your third aliyah right now.
It
You watch
ends
him.
with a lav.
Yeah.
Lav umichad.
Here, start from the top.
You mean sort of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
That's a good
That's
idea.
better. V'yigatir alav aharon ketoret samim, babokir bein tivo, et hanerod yaktirena. Uv'halot aharon et hanerod, bein ha'arbaim yaktirena, ketoret tamid, lifnei Adonai ledorotechem. Lo ta'alu ta'alav, ketoret salvav umichat, bechat v'nei zet, lo tisku alav.
All right. Nicely done.
Take it.
Take it one.
Alex, you did beautifully.
Yes, but do your blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu toret emet, v'chayei olam nata betohenu. Baruch atah Adonai notain HaTorah.
Nicely done. Nice done. Yeah, you did read more than you were asked to. Now you could turn around, get some mazel from your family and your sister and your teacher. And go get some water. All right. We're still on page 20. The Torah is open. Alec is going to stay up and his family is going to go down to their seats. But because, Alec, you did such a beautiful job chanting from Torah and becoming a bar mitzvah, we want to make sure that we bring thoughts and prayers of healing into this moment. You're here. Yeah. You're okay. So we have a healing prayer that's specifically designed to be chanted or sung while the Torah is open. So we want to send all the healing vibes and blessings from this service to whoever needs a refuah shlema, a complete healing. It might be people right here in this sanctuary, but whoever they are, wherever they are, we pray for healing for mind, body, and spirit. We hope that the spirit and the strength of this bar mitzvah, of this service at the end of Shabbat, will permeate and send healing far and near. So let's sing, Leslie and I, and anyone that knows this healing prayer. Think of the people in your lives that could use some healing, that could use maybe a visit from you or a phone call or, something to lift their spirits in their time of vulnerability. It's called Misha Barak. The one who blessed our ancestors should bless us, and especially those of us who could use healing. Misha Barak Avotenu Mikor HaBaracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed is the Holy One who helps us find ways of bringing healing to those who are ill. And let us say, Amen. Well, now it's time for what's called a Devar Torah. Words of Torah that are composed by Alec himself. Alec took a look at this Torah portion, what it meant to him, what he thinks it might mean to all of you, what he wants to teach all of you about what's in his Torah portion, and how it might apply to right now and to his life and to all of your lives. And that's what we're going to hear. It's called a commentary, the Bar Mitzvah speech, but the technical word is Devar Torah because the words originate in the Torah. The Torah inspired the words, but then Alec takes them wherever he wants them to go. And that's what he's done. I'm going to put a cover on this, Alec. Okay. All right. You ready? Take a deep breath, nice and slow, so everyone hears you and understands, because you really worked hard on this. So let's hear your commentary.
My portion today, the Tetzaveh from the book of Exodus, describes the activities and the rules of the priests, which is what the Jewish spiritual leaders in the ancient days were called, and what they did in the time of the Jews were in the Sinai desert. It explains of what to do for the ritual meeting with God, how to prepare the priests and offerings, how to dress the priests, how to sacrifice the animals, and finally, burning incense. At that time, the priests called Kohanim were Moses' brother Aaron, his sons, and eventually their ancestors. The Tetzaveh also focuses heavily on the details of the priest's clothing. There are a number of pieces described. There is the ketona, a full-length linen tunic, like a long shirt, the mitznasayim, linen pants, the mitznafet, along with a linen turban hat, the avnet, a long sash or belt wound above the waist. The head priest also wore extra items like the ephod, which is an apron-like garment made of blue, purple, and red-dyed wool, linen and gold thread. The chusin, a breastplate, contained 12 precious stones inscribed with the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. The ma'il, a cloak of blue wool with gold bells and decorative pomegranates on its helm. The seats, a golden plate worn on the forehead bearing the inscription, Holy to God. You can imagine how regal the priests looked when they were doing the holy work in the Mishkan, wearing those special garments. My dad asked me if he could dress like that today to show everyone what it looked like. I said, no. Sorry, Dad, but no. Times have changed. Today we don't have a traveling tabernacle in the desert or even a single temple that houses the Ark in the holiest of holies room. We have local synagogues everywhere there are Jews. Judaism doesn't have priests anymore, of course. Today we have rabbis, and sadly, Our rabbis don't dress quite so fancy these days, but it's fortunate that we don't have animal sacrifices anymore because that's just not appropriate in today's world. So if times have changed, how can we relate this portion to our world in our lives today? In today's world, our priests, rabbis, temples, and arks for Torahs. Uniforms for priests are still used for today, but now they are made for rabbis. When we have special occasions like the high holidays, the rabbis will get really dressed up with their nicest talits and fanciest robes, almost like a priest. Imagine Rabbi Randy wearing a full priest uniform. I'd like to see that. Here are the pieces of clothing worn in synagogues. Instead of turbans or fancy hats, we have yarmulkes. Instead of aprons or the ephod, we have talits. Clothing has changed. Instead of tunics, rabbis wear robes or suits. There are some fancier elements, but instead of gold thread, our talits can have decorative embroidery. In some ways, fancy outfits have evolved from clothing to other items. You might notice that the Torah dressing is fancy, colorful, meaningful, and decorative. It's not hard to see that this is a continuation of our clothing tradition. These things have changed a lot, and if you had seen what they looked like in the past and now, you would see changes. There are other examples of using uniforms to separate people based on their role or place in society. Some of today's uniforms are easy to explain to us and just obvious to us. Uniforms can describe what people are, what they do, and how other people can show respect to them, like that of a firefighter or a Supreme Court judge. The priestly clothing described in the text that, in many ways, foreshadow how many people dress today in their occupations. Judaism has changed over time. It will continue to evolve in the future. You have to wonder what the experience will look like in another 1,000 years or longer. Who knows? Maybe the old clothing fashions will come back into style. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Nicely done. Yes. Such a great job, Alec. Thank you for kind of reminding us of, how the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? That's kind of part of the lesson of your teaching. And you're right, the details, even if we're not detail people, the Torah forces us in these portions to really pay attention to every detail. And then maybe if the clothing is different, still paying attention to detail is really important, when we create a sanctuary, a holy place. The details are really important, and they help us when we have moments like this, holy moments, like when we see one of our young people, become bar mitzvah and really step up the way you did and learn and demonstrate, how you could really be what we call a mensch, really someone who's going to put your best foot forward in Jewish world and in the world in general, and you dressed up nice for this occasion, right? So there's times that are appropriate for different ways of of dressing and exhibiting ourselves, and so and your talit, you said it was comfortable and cozy, and I'm really glad about that. It looks great on you, and when I see the fringes, that hang from the four corners of your talit, I'm reminded of just the way you carry yourself in the world, Alec, doing mitzvahs and making sure that you are intentional and that you care and that you show compassion and concern for other people. And that's what we want. We want all these Jewish traditions to not be an end to themselves, but be a means to an end, a way to kind of direct you to be your best self. And it's times like these, where we see who your best self really is, really shining through. So I want to first give you some gifts. This, Alec, is a tzedakah jar. The tradition of the tzedakah box or tzedakah jar is that you kind of keep it in your room or somewhere in the house, and when you have change or some cash, I know we don't use cash that much anymore these days, but it's still around, and we'll figure out other ways to give tzedakah as time goes by. But right now we still have cash. You just kind of put it in the jar. And when the jar is filled up, or at some point when you see somebody in need, or you know someone who maybe has a little extra need, or maybe there's an organization that you find out about that is helping people in need, you give what's in the jar to them, because part of our lives, as Jews and as human beings, is sharing what's ours, sharing our resources with others. That's part of that means to an end, right? Why we do these traditions is to remind us to do things like keep tzedakah and share our resources with others. You've been doing that with me and our 7th grade class all year. We'll continue to do that, kind of try to find people and identify people who are under-resourced and share some of what's ours, even our time. That's tzedakah too, is sharing the time we have. You could use your time for a lot of things, but one of the things you should use your time for is helping others. So this is a tzedakah jar, and it's like all things to do with mitzvahs. It's decorative, and it's not just functional. It's also something that should be kind of decorative and beautiful and something that's nice to look at, but it also has a purpose to help others. And then we have this certificate. It says, "We are filled with pride and joy that Alec Richason," that's this guy over here, also known as Ruvain Alexander, has become a bar mitzvah at Central Reformed Congregation on March 4th, 2023. 2 trees have been planted in your honor, Alec. One is in a Palestinian community on the West Bank, and one in a Jewish community in Jerusalem. So 2 trees in Israel, one where Arabs and Palestinians live, and one where mostly Jews live, and they'll both grow, and we hope that they will flourish and be part of a land that continues to strive to be peaceful. There's a lot of challenges there, but there's also a lot of hope too. So those 2 trees that are planted for you and on this occasion should represent some kind of coming together, some kind of cooperation, some kind of relationship that we hope will bring more shalom in Hebrew and salam in Arabic to a land that's really important to a lot of people, including the Jewish people, as a homeland for us and for those Jews who have nowhere else to live and to go. So this is for you, and this is for you, and we're proud of you. And the last thing I want to do before we put the Torah away is give you a blessing. And so that's why I was talking about the talit, part of that uniform that you talked about in your wonderful Devar Torah. This is sort of a vestige or sort of an update of what you read about with the priestly garments. And this is yours now, just like your sister's wearing hers. There will be an occasion where you'll want to put this on again. And you'll be reminded of your bar mitzvah and the amazing job you did chanting Torah and leading this service. So I'm going to, just for a moment, let you sort of, let's kind of have a moment in there, just to feel all of it and really be embraced by it. And this is also an ancient way. You'll see some Jews will do this when they pray. They'll put the talit over their heads so they can really feel the totality of it. So I'm going to sing you a blessing while you're under your shelter of peace, your talit covering. Yeah, looks good. It really does. It's pretty. There you go. And the blessing is a blessing. I think you know it. You've heard it. It's called Shehechianu, and it's a blessing for right now. For this moment, these moments where you became bar mitzvah, where you stood in front of people that loved you and that you love, and you did something amazing that took a lot of hard work. And now you are a bar mitzvah. You always will be. It'll be part of who you are going forward in your life as you journey into your teenage years and your adult years. I hope that this moment of bar mitzvah is part of kind of vaulting you into the next chapters of your life. And we're all so excited to see what that brings. So here's the blessing. It's a blessing for everything that this moment means to you and everything this moment means to us who are privileged to witness everything you've done today. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. which means blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation. You gave us our life, and you kept us alive, and you brought us, we brought you and your family and your friends to Lazman Hazeh, this really special, meaningful, holy moment in your life, in our lives, and in the life of the universe. The world is a better place now. I believe it, because you took the steps and you became bar mitzvah. The world's a better place. Amen. All right, and Mazel Tov. So, Alec has done what we've asked him to do, but there's a little bit more of the service that we want to make sure we complete, including the Havdalah ceremony. So we are on page 21, and Alec, you can ask the congregation to
Please rise.
please rise. We're going to put the Torah away. We're going to ask once again, all right? We're going to ask Annabelle and Anastasia and Angelina to come and open the doors of the ark once again. And we're going to ask cousins Robin and Hannah to come forward to help put the Torah away. And in the meantime, Leslie is going to sing the proverb, words from the proverb from the Bible, set to music that says that Torah is a tree of life. Alec proved that once again today through his commentary, through his chanting, that although the Torah is ancient, it still helps guide us to this very day.
את חיימי למחזיקים בו, וטובע מאושר, ורחיה תרחנו בכל ותיבותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך בנשובה, חדש, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
All right. Now, Alec and I are going to face the ark where we just put the Torah away. We're on pages 22 and 23. This is one of the concluding prayers. It says that everything that we did these last moments, prayers and Torah and learning, all of that should be part of what we call tikkun olam, which is making the world a better place. So let's turn around, Alec. I got the words right here. And you can sing with me if you know the prayer. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, la'tei gedola liotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'cho hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim v'yosed aretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinat uzo, v'gov hei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes zulato, kakatuv b'torato, v'yadata hayom v'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, v'ashamayim mima'al, ve'al ha'aretz, mitachat ein od, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated.
All right, just for a moment, actually, but we always save time in our services for remembrance, for remembering those who passed away, who we still miss, whose shoulders we stand upon. And I know Alec, on behalf of his family, has two very special remembrances.
Today, I remember my Grandpa Bob and Grandpa Stanford.
May their memories be a blessing. If anyone else has a name, if you've had a recent loss or if you are in your year of mourning, we call it, you can stand like Toby is and we'll hear the names who you're remembering. Toby, go ahead.
My cousin Fran Rothschild. She died a week ago.
For your cousin. Sorry for your loss, our condolences. Thank you. If there's no other names, we'll just have everyone stand together. Autumn, are there any names from the people watching?
And Ellen.
Thank you. Okay. So this is our prayer that we reserve for remembrance of our loved ones. It's on page 24. It's called the Mourner's Kaddish. And for Grandpa Bob and Grandpa Stanford and all those we've loved and lost, we feel their presence here with us in spirit. We say, Yikadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra kirute v'yamlich malkute, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kari ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mivarach le'olam olmei almaya, Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromal, Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen.
Oh, say shalom
Imroma. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru ve'imru. Amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. May their memories be a blessing. Zikr nam livracha. You could be seated. As you can see, when we started this bar mitzvah service, it was afternoon and daylight. It was a gorgeous day outside. Through the service, Alec, it's now evening time, even maybe nighttime, I would say. What's night? You think nighttime?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah. It's nighttime, and so it's Saturday night. And so one of the rituals of Shabbat is ending Shabbat. We begin Shabbat. People in their homes and synagogues will light 2 candles and have a drink of wine and have some challah. And the way we end Shabbat is also with a candle, but this time the candle is multi-wicked and it's braided, representing all the 2s kind of became one. And that's kind of what we hope happens in Shabbat, is all the dichotomies sort of blend together so that we're all, we all kind of connect to each other. So that's the Havdalah candle. We also drink wine or juice on Havdalah, like we start Shabbat. Then there's an added extra element for Havdalah, and it's the spice box. You see the tall box with the arrow or the flag. That's a spice box. In there, there's some cinnamon, and you can put any spice you want in there. And the idea is, when you end Shabbat, you want to breathe in the spices because you want to keep that Shabbat spirit with you as long as you can. Even though Shabbat's over and we're going to get back into the week, and even though you have Sunday, eventually you got to go back to school, Alec, and we have to go back to work. But we hope that the spirit of this Shabbat, especially this Shabbat where you became a bar mitzvah, in such an awesome way, will stay with you to kind of elevate you and kind of help you through the challenges that happen to everyone in our week. We hope the holiness of this Shabbat, Alec, will always be part of you, who you are, and will help you with the challenges of life. And so Alec and I are going to come down to the table. I'm going to ask Ella to help us out with the Havdalah objects. I'm going to dim the lights a little bit, and we're going to sing the blessings of Havdalah, first for the juice, then for the spices, then for the fire, and then for the difference between ordinary moments and holy moments like the ones that we've experienced together. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to come back up and have a couple more blessings, and then you guys can go off and celebrate Alec and his wonderful achievement. So, why don't you meet me down at the table over there, Alec? Yeah. That's good. All right. So, let's see, we can look here. So the blessings start on page 26.
26.
And they go to 27, so certainly follow us along. Lighting of the candle. Look at it. There it is. Right? The Aish, that's called Aish, fire. All right. Alec, why don't you pick up the Kiddush cup with the juice? And Ella, come up here and pick up the spice box. And the blessings have a lot of lies, in between, so you can sing along if you don't know the exact words of the blessings. It goes like this. Try that. And for the juice, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Yai lai lai yai la la lai 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 yai lai yai la la lai 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 yai lai lai yai la la lai 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 yai la la lai 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 yai lai lai yai la la lai 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 yai la la lai 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 yai lai lai lai. For the spices, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim. And Ella, take a breath of the spices and let your brother breathe in the spices. There you go. Yeah, what'd you say? They'll clear up his sinuses. Like a miracle. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la la ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la. Now you direct your attention to the fire, to the flame, to the multi-wick braided candle. What some people like to do when we sing the blessing for the Aish, the fire, is to kind of take their fingernails and try to find the flame reflected in your fingernails. And that kind of symbolizes that not only is the fire in the candle, but we have fire, we have passion, we have inspiration inside of us. So you can kind of do that, and we'll sing the blessing for the flame. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh. Yai lai lai ya la la lai 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 ya la la lai 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 ya lai lai ya la la lai 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 ya la la lai 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 la la lai 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 ya la la lai 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 ya lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil bein kodesh lechol. Everyone. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la la. You guys hold your spice box and your Kiddush cup. So now, Alec, what I'd like you to do on behalf of all of us is to drink a sip of that juice. It is juice. Fruit of the vine can be wine or juice. So hold on to the cup. So you've drank in some of the holiness and sweetness of this bar mitzvah service. And so now it's time to put out the fire to launch into it. Hold on, I got it. To launch into a new week. I will do it. And then as we douse the flame, we're going to sing another Havdalah song, which is in your prayer books, called Eliyahu Hanavi. We also sing it on Passover. Many of us do. And Elijah the prophet is supposed to help signify the coming of a better world, of an improved world with more peace and more justice and more goodness. So every Shabbat we hope that the prayers and the holiness of Shabbat will help us make that better world. So Eliyahu Hanavi,
Page 28.
Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera ve'yamenu, Yavo aleinu, Imoshiach ben David, Imoshiach ben David. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. We're going to sing one more song before your parents give you a blessing. One more Havdalah song. It just tells each other, we hope we all have a good week. I did want to mention this beautiful Havdalah set is a gift, another gift from your parents, Alec. It's for you, and to remind you of your Havdalah bar mitzvah, but also maybe, Havdalah will become part of your once in a while or your all the time practice. Really, it's a beautiful service to end, the Shabbat with. So this is yours, and maybe one of these days you'll break it out of its box and you'll have Havdalah with friends or family. That would be really lovely. But in the meantime, we say Shavua Tov, which is a wish and a blessing for each other, for Alec, for his family, to have a really good week to come. Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Amen. Ella, you can have a seat. Thank you for your help. Alec, head back up to the bima. Because we have just a few more blessings before we send you off to celebrate. But these are very important blessings. Let me put the lights on to full blast. There we go. Pleasure to ask your mom and dad to return to the bima to give you their words of gratitude and pride and nachas and love. Really special words from your parents to you. So you stand right there, and whoever wants to go first can go first. And what's that? Whatever you want to do. Let's
You guys are just swap your shoes.
There we go. All right.
Hello.
Hello. Having fun?
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
Well, Alec, we made it. You've made it. You've been working towards this day for so very long that you probably don't even remember the beginning of this journey. It's been so long that we had to stop and think about the beginning. It's been 6 or 7 years since our family first came to CRC, when you were only 7 years old or so, in first grade of Shabbat school. I remember you always trying to get your hands on the leftover challah. It was your reward for interrupting your weekends and your Wednesday evenings. Before that, when you were in pre-K tot class at Congregation Sharamith, your reward for being a good participant then was sneaking into the gym to gain access to their little cars, just one more spin around the room. Maybe it was before that, even so, when you were a small child in our home. We filled it with light and love. Friday night Shabbat dinners, PJ library books, and the bedtime Shema were a regular part of your nighttime routine. And celebrating holidays going back to your birth, and so many moments that filled your earliest days and nights. And if we really think about it, it didn't begin with your birth either. We've talked about this for this event, and in general, your life, like my life, is a link in a chain that extends back through time. It's tradition, like the song says. We take our turns carrying on the tradition and lead it into the future. And you will for your children and their children. But today, we celebrate you and your accomplishment. You prepared for this day by working hard and putting in many hours of practice. There were times you were nervous about whether you could do it or not, if we're being honest, but you blew us away tonight with what you did and how you did it. What you've done today was done with confidence and maturity and strength of character. And to repeat what we told Ella 2 years ago in this very sanctuary for her bat mitzvah, remember this day. Take a moment to savor your success. Think of the effort and think of the results. There'll be many challenges in the future that you'll confront, and you can look back on this day and use it to motivate you to go the distance and be successful. This should empower you to be more than you thought yourself ever capable of being. Your mother and I are so proud of the boy you've always been and the man you're becoming. You're a special joy in our lives. You're funny, you're smart, talented, optimistic, and have an inherently strong sense of doing the right thing. You light up our home with your artistry and your silly dancing and your just general silliness. These are wonderful qualities that will lead you to a life filled with happiness and success, which is all that we can hope for you. We love you so much.
Stay up here. Ella, you want to come up and join? You guys can come too. You want to come up?
You want to come up? Okay.
Come on up, Ella.
Angeline. Come on, Anastasia.
Okay. Tell you what. You like what? That's right. Come on up, Ella. You can stay with your sister. And, so Alec, among other things, has done a great job with the please rise, please sit. So you have one more to do. So actually, I always love to tell this story. Not too long ago, we had a bar mitzvah. And I said, all right, tell the congregation to please. And the young person kind of blanked for a second and said, please fly. And really, that was a true story. But everyone is seated, and you're going to ask them, Alec, as the bar mitzvah prayer leader, to please.
Please rise.
Yes.
Good guy.
Please rise. So
Yes,
this is the
rise.
way that we end our services here. We put our arms around each other, so go ahead and put your arms around each other, and put our arms around Alec, our newest bar mitzvah, to make sure we don't leave this sanctuary without saying blessings, without saying words from the Torah, again, about peace and love. That's what these words are about. Again, thanks to Leslie Kaplan. It occurs to me that at Ella's bat mitzvah, you probably couldn't be here because we were still...
She couldn't.
Yeah, so, little by little, we'll do it again. I'm sure we will. And I watched you sing every prayer from your seat, and I've watched you guys really support each other as siblings. It's very beautiful. So we put our arms around each other. We make this blessing, and I'm going to send you guys off to wherever it is you're going to really enjoy and to celebrate. But Alec, you did an amazing job. Mazel tov to you, and we say to each other, Yivrechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you now and always. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine down upon you and always be kind and loving and warm and gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may you always know, you, Alec, and all of you, and everyone, know the greatest gift of all, the greatest blessing of all, which is shalom, peace and goodness and compassion and love and everything you need to really have an awesome life. We hope that you are blessed with shalom from this moment forward, the same with all of you. As you go from this place to the next place, bring with you these blessings of peace that you experienced here and spread them wherever they go so that soon, God willing soon, the world will be filled with more peace, more love, more shalom. And we say amen. And Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
And Shavua Tov. Have a great week, everybody, and celebrate.
Wait, that was just the...
Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Semen Tov, Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Semen Tov, Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Semen Tov, Hey Lanu.
Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, and Semen Tov, Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, and Semen Tov, Semen Tov, a Mazel Tov, a Mazel Tov, and Semen Tov, Hey Lanu. Ye'elanu, Ye'elanu, Uvavo Yisrael. Ye'elanu, Ye'elanu, Uvavo Yisrael. Semen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Semen Tov, Semen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Semen Tov, Semen Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Semen Tov. Thanks, Autumn. And thank you, everybody.